Listen, everybody needs a fairy godmother, just somebody to look out for them. Some people call me their fairy smoke mother, others their internet big sister, but you can call me Hannah, the host of Smoke Sash. So come hang out, let's light up and talk everything there is to life. The good, the bad, the ugly, the embarrassing. I've got a story for it all. Hello, hotties, and welcome back to another episode of Smoke Sash. My name is Hannah, your host, but I'm sure you already knew that. Unless you're new here, in which, welcome. We're happy to have you at the sesh. We have a lot to talk about today. I actually started today with a really beautiful morning, which I needed because I don't know what's in the air. I don't know what the energy is. I mean, we just had a full moon this weekend, so it probably is just that residual energy. But people are kind of losing their minds, as well as I am kind of losing my mind. Not in a way that feels like manic or completely out of control, but just in a way where it's like, if you do not change the cycle is doomed to repeat. That kind of vibe. I feel like people are kind of on that kind of energy recently. So I've been trying to just manage my best through that. And yes, I was just in a little bit of a panic state this past weekend for pretty much no good reason. Sometimes you just happen to freak yourself out. I don't know why. I'm very much so an overthinker, so I love to freak myself out. So this morning, just having something to wake up and immediately go do, get outside, get into the country a little bit, drive, think all the thoughts I could possibly think until there's nothing left, and then get on horseback and really just kind of not only get a physical workout in, but a mental workout in, connect to an animal, a pure creature. It was exactly what I needed today because last night, we're going to just jump right into it. Last night, I don't know what was going on. Usually this happens when I smoke too much weed. Anybody else smoke too much weed and get the scaries? Anybody else get fearful off the weed late at night? Usually it's weed induced, but this one I fear was actually sober induced. And laid down to go to sleep, to rest my little head. And I can never immediately go to sleep. Usually I have to have something playing in the background or just some sort of distraction. But last night it was just, I could not go to bed. I was up to like 2 a.m. just thinking. You want to hear what my Google search was of last night? I didn't realize it was so bad until I woke up this morning and was like, God damn, bitch, what the fuck were you on? I feel like I'm doing everything wrong in life. That was my Google search. If you guys could see my Google search history from last night, it was just like I was spiraling. I was just going through this period. I'm going through currently this period of my Saturn return. If you are a young 20 something and you don't have it figured out, don't you worry. Don't you worry, because by the age of 27 or like 28, around that time, you will have your Saturn return. And essentially that is just the universe putting Saturn into place where it is kind of forcing you to figure your shit out, to handle your shit, to get your shit together, to lock in, to take yourself seriously, to make the changes you need, to burn it all the fuck down if you gotta, if to restart, to be brave, to take on the challenge. Ooh, and it is a lot. It's like getting on a roller coaster and you're feeling you're feeling the car start up the hill and you're like, God damn, we're really high up here. I really hope this safety bar is in place. I'm just gonna, I guess, hold on the best I can and try and enjoy myself. So yeah, I really just kind of spiraled last night, which I didn't need to do. I just am in a place that's kind of, I've done a lot of growth and I'm proud of where I've come and I'm proud of how far I've grown, especially taking a non-traditional route. But as you grow up, you do start to crave a little bit of stability, and stability in the sense of like, when they ask you when you're in kindergarten, they're like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you're like, astronaut, artist, teacher, doctor. It's kind of just like one word. And although we are humans and we contain multitudes and there's more to us than just our job, I do really crave the stability of having one set thing, whether it's where I live or a job or a hobby or an activity that puts me in a good routine and sets me up for success, so then I can kind of incorporate new things or try new things. I just am really craving that stability now that I'm getting older. Also, the funny thing about growing up is you see all of your peers grow up too, and you see what they're doing. And I think this spiral kind of started because, I mean, I'm so happy for her, but one of my friends is pregnant. And so we got that news this weekend, and good pregnancy, don't worry, not a bad one. Yes, there's good and bad ones. It was wanted. And it's just like, wow, the people I'm growing up with are already starting to like get pregnant, get married, go to law school. Like they're taking the next big step of their lives. And I'm kind of in this place where I feel like I'm behind in comparison. But in reality, if I look at where I am in my own life, I'm feeling very comfortable, but I am ready to take that next step. So if you're a young 20-something listening to this, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, even 20 goddamn 6, bitch, enjoy yourself. If I'm going to give you any piece of advice as a young 20-something, enjoy yourself. You're meant to have a lot of fun during this time. Is it going to be stressful trying to figure it out? Yeah, sure. Burn off that goddamn stress with as much fun as you can have. Go out partying. Get out of the house. Go see your friends. Say yes to everything. If an opportunity arises and you want to try it out, go do it. Go do it. This is the perfect time for you to kind of discover who you are by just being a part of the world and putting yourself out there. You are meant as a young 20-something to just simply put, have fun. Having fun also means making mistakes. Sometimes my worst mistakes were also a lot of goddamn fun to do. It doesn't matter what you're doing, but try to have fun. You will figure it out eventually, and the universe will force you to figure it out towards the end of your 20s. So don't sweat it. Don't stress it. Do the best you can. Try the best you can, but have goddamn fun. I mean, don't put yourself in debt. Don't put your life at risk. Don't, do any harmful, negative activities, but just enjoy life. It's meant to be lived. It's meant to be enjoyed. Not that you shouldn't be doing that after your young 20s. You should be doing that constantly in life. But specifically, I think there's so much that comes out of it when you are young and you get to do all these crazy things, or you get to just like live life, that it teaches you a lot about yourself. It teaches you to be more comfortable with yourself. It teaches you what you want in your life, what you don't want in your life. And it kind of gets these negative, self-depreciating activities like partying too much or doing drugs or dating ugly men. It gets that out of the way sooner rather than later. And I am so thankful that I did that. Like, I feel like I've checked a lot of boxes in my life. I've had my rave phase, you know what I mean? I've gone out, I've gone partying. I've had my Molly era, which was way too goddamn long. I've had my mushrooms era. I've had my hippie girl walking around barefoot in the fucking grass at festivals, twirling in circles, playing Rhiannon in the background. I've had that era. I've had my country girl era. We're deep in it right now, I fear. I've gone through so many different things of just self-exploration and trying new things on, that now where I'm at a place where I'm like, all right, bitch, we got to take ourselves a little serious. I do actually have an idea of what I want to do, and kind of a perspective shift towards what is really necessary to take serious and what is not. And I think that only comes from giving yourself space and time to develop, to change, and to kind of like graduate from that era of life. So, like I said, don't stress yourself out and just try and have fun. Summer's coming up, bitch. Get out there, live life. Dump that fucking nuisance ass man that is only a problem, a thorn in your foot. Go out with your girls every time they invite you out. Fuck it, have that random hookup if you want to. Flirt with that random man or woman or non-binary person. I don't give a fuck. Explore yourself. All different sides, all different versions. It's so important to do. Okay, especially with summer up. That's my summer PSA for you all. Get out, have fun, live life. I'm signing my lease for my horse the day you're actually listening to this, so best believe I'll be having a really amazing summer, and I hope you guys do too. I'm just excited to kind of just be out in nature around animals. Me and her name's Zena. We have made such a really great connection, and I really love spending time with her. I think we have a really good bond going on. I'm actually going shopping for accessories, halters, supplies with my trainer tomorrow. I'm really excited to be welcomed into this community and to just kind of like also meet new people and try new things and just get out into nature because it is so healing. But once again, I would have never discovered this side of myself if I didn't just say yes, put myself out there and try this out. This weekend, I had a pretty busy weekend just with activities, things going on. I've been posting a lot. If you guys want to consume extra content of mine, Patreon is the place to go, patreon.com/smokeseshawty. If you want to support me, if you want extra content, I make it very affordable. It's all under $10 no matter what tier you join, and that's a month, so very cheap, and I post at least 5 times a week, not even kidding. This includes full moon write-ups, monthly tarot readings. I'll be doing a May forecast of things that I'm looking forward to, clothes, vibes, colors, fashion, everything that I'm kind of feeling drawn to. I'll do a monthly playlist, spells, rituals, journal prompts, and plus every week an extra episode where I answer every single one of your questions. I've been posting a lot on Instagram, just like random videos that I feel called to make and fun life things that I wanted to share with you guys. And then also I'm back on the weekly vlogs. I just edited actually my Japan shopping spree haul. I realized I forgot to upload the haul and I'm like, I filmed it. I might as well edit it and upload it. Fuck it. Let's get it up. So if you want to watch that, that's on YouTube at Hannah Marlene 444. That's my little plug for this morning. Thank you. Love you. Even you guys just listening to this right now is enough support. So I do thank you endlessly. And I also just restocked lighters for the last time. Okay, I'm coming up with fun new things. I'm making fun new things that I want and I want to share with you guys, which means these will be limited drops. But I just restocked the lighter cases one more time. So if you want to get those are at smokeseshawty.com. And I have them available in gold and silver. So get them while they're hot. But May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I kind of just wanted to chat a little bit about that with you guys. I feel like since we're all kind of going through it, it's a good time to bring it up as a mental health survivor myself. Okay. This weekend, actually, probably the most notorious thing I did, the most memorable thing I did is I went to a art show with my parents. Every single year, Kansas City puts on multiple art shows, but there's 2 or 3 that are really big. They probably have 30 to 40 vendors where they give out awards and people, a bunch of fucking rich people come out to spend some money. And me, I like to cosplay rich whenever I can. So I put on my finest white tank and denim jeans. And I got out there with everybody to go look at some art, to just go peruse, see what's selling, see what people are making, see what people are inspired by. And every single time I go to this art show, it's so fucking funny. I am such an overthinker, and in my head, overthinking equals knowing myself. But sometimes, you know, when you're arguing with a dumbass man who's like, no, I'm right, no, I'm right, no, I'm right. And it's like, actually, I'm going to start strangling you. Sometimes overthinking is that exact same argument, but inside your own head with yourself, where you're both right, sure, but also sometimes you just have to stop fucking thinking about it because you're contradicting yourself, you're turning yourself away, you're frustrating yourself, you're getting yourself overwhelmed, and that's not helping. The overthinking is not helping. But every year I go to this art show and I walk around and I look at the different painters and I see the people who are just inspired or drawn to or just sharing their life's work and what they feel called to do with each other and talking about their processes and just having a good time, enjoying the day and enjoying art. There's really nothing better. And every single time, every single fucking year I go to this art show and I go, I should be an artist. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, no shit, bitch. You've been painting since the age of, you came out of the womb, basically. You were painting with placenta juices. Oh my God, that was a lot. I'm sorry. But I've been painting for so long that it's like, why the fuck have you not taken this seriously, gotten into it, and just put yourself out there? It doesn't make sense. And it's because of the contradicting and the overthinking that it just kind of overwhelmed my senses, and I don't do it. So this year, you know, I saw the artists and I saw their paintings and I saw their work, and I actually bought a couple a couple prints. One of the Jackson Hole Jackson Hole LED sign, where I went with my friends during our girls trip, and we just spun each other around on the dance floor and line danced, and I actually ended up falling and breaking my nose. Funny story, yes, but also just like a reminder of what it is to be a free and wild woman. And then also I bought this other print where she was inspired to kind of travel cross country through America, and take photos of like old Americana and the forgotten nature of humanity and life. And she actually is taking these photos on one of the oldest film cameras known, and she had to backpack 8 miles up into the backcountry to get a photo of this cabin. It's a really famous cabin for backcountry hikers. And painted on the cabin says, "The higher you get, the higher you get." And, you know, I showed it to my parents and they were like, "Oh, stoner Hannah, like this is kind of dumb. Why would you spend money on this?" But I think it's so symbolic of what I am going through right now and the realizations I'm having, where it's like, "Oh, the higher you get, the higher you get. The more you smoke, the higher you get." No. It really is a testament of, if you push yourself and you work hard and you take that step forward, you go on the climb, you go on the journey, you will get there. It is a matter of fact. The higher you get, the further you go, the further you go. And I think that was kind of the exact reminder I needed. Especially in this season of my life where I am accepting transformation and change and accepting all parts of myself in order to grow and to develop. It is exactly what I needed to hear, which is funny because no one told me it. It really just like jumped out to me as I was kind of contradicting myself and overthinking, walking around the art show going, well, I could never be a painter. It's like, actually, bitch, you could. And the only person who's stopping you, who's deterring you, who's turning you away is you. I actually just got back into oil painting, and I'm just trying to get the basics of it all going, and who knows where it'll take me, and maybe it'll just be a hobby that I do like on the side, the same way I do horseback riding. But it is something that I feel so inspired by and so called to and so just driven by that I feel like there's no way I won't be successful in it. The higher you get, the higher you get. So if there's anything that you feel called to do, driven to do, prosperous from, if there's a direction that you want to take, I encourage you to do it. Stop the overthinking, stop the contradicting. Sometimes we are our own biggest downfall, and if you trust your instincts, they will take you further than anything else will. Just go after it. We really only have one life to live, and if you take a risk, I guarantee it will pay off. You just have to be brave enough to do it. This is a challenge I'm taking a little bit more serious than maybe other times I have, where it's like I'm giving myself homework. I'm really trying to pump out as many paintings as I can, get my skills back up to where they have been, and take myself seriously. So then I feel like the outcome will also be serious. And yeah, I'm just excited for this journey, and I'm excited to see where it takes me, and who knows what will come out of it. But I just hope in the end I have a good time, because what's life worth living if it's not for a goddamn good time? Okay, even when shit gets stressful, that's what we got hobbies for. When things get expensive, that's what we got distractions for, healthy distractions. So really just indulging in the hope of it all as we manage through May. But yes, like I said, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And so I'm sure many of you guys know my story of my difficulties with mental health and my struggles over the years. I have suffered from mental health, specifically depression, anxiety, and for a while, suicidal ideation, to the point where I was institutionalized for a little bit. And although being institutionalized was probably the bravest and best thing I've ever done for myself, the work I did afterwards was really what transformed me and changed me. And I would have never gotten to the place that I am now. And it's really kind of beautiful looking back on how far I've come from the insecure 8-year-old girl who just like overthought everything to the point where she was like overthinking how much she was breathing in a crowd, like craziness, who would be put in piano competitions and would be vomiting beforehand from anxiety and nerves, to the 16-year-old girl who was so overconsumed, even more so with her perception of herself and self-hatred, to the point where there was a big gap in connectedness in who I was. It was almost like I was too connected in the negative and completely disconnected in the positive, where I felt out of control in my body and out of touch in my body in a way that was very awkward and uncomfortable. To then 20-year-old me, who was also going through challenges and facing outside negative stimuli while also trying to face the inside ones, to now me here about to turn 27. Gemini season's coming up. Y'all better watch out. It's going to be a powerful season. Where sure, are there struggles here and there? Yes, thus is life. You'll never be living in complete peace ever. Sorry, hate to break the news to you, but I just am so proud of how comfortable and appreciative I am of myself compared to all the other past versions of me. I would have not gotten here if I didn't take the bravery to dive inwards and to accept every part of myself. I had to accept the weirdness. I had to accept the awkwardness. I had to accept the overthinking. I had to accept the negative parts of myself. I had to accept the bad traits, the bad habits. I had to accept myself fully in order to then appreciate myself fully. But doing that work and doing the shadow work, doing the inner work, facing my fears, going after my dreams, doing everything I could for myself that felt right intuitively, paid off so incredibly well, to the point where sure, I'll have moments of weakness or doubt or whatever, but at the end of the day, I know I've fucking got this. It is so worth doing the work on yourself, trusting in yourself, diving into yourself. We are all we have at the end of the day, if you really think about it. Sure, community is important. I don't want to denote community. Okay, community is important. Friends are important. Family is important. But truly, at the end of the day, if you think about it, on our deathbed, who is going to be left with us but ourselves? So you might as well be the best fucking friend you've ever had in your entire world. There is no need to endlessly suffer when you can just release the shackles yourself. You know, if you put them on yourself, you have to also be the one to release them. But getting help was the bravest thing I've ever done, and I'm so proud of myself for doing so. I don't think I could have come from a place where I was alone on my own. I don't think any amount of journal prompting or fucking therapy sessions would have gotten me to where I needed to go. I did need to take a full, honest break from life and put myself in a safe position, and I'm really proud of myself for doing that, especially at such a young age where I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know what was going on. I really was in very unfamiliar territory. I'm proud of myself for also then picking myself up afterwards, not giving up on myself, continuously getting help or asking for help whenever I needed it, for never giving up on myself and always just trying to make myself a little bit better, to take the next step, to put myself in a little bit better of a position, no matter what it was. If I fell off the wagon or if I had a bad day, to pick myself back up. There were hard days, there were long days, there were hard fucking months, years. I'm not even kidding. Especially in my early 20s, I had a couple of years of just like not only bad internal relationship, but bad external relationship that really just drug me through the fucking dirt. And it's thinking about like I could have stayed there. I could have stayed where I was. I could have become worser. Honestly, I could have become absolutely fucking evil. But no, I got the fuck up. I lived through it. I kept moving forward. I didn't put anybody else through that. And it's so beautiful seeing how much can come out of it when you simply just believe and trust in yourself. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes, especially when maybe you feel like you're untrustworthy or undeserving, it's hard to give into the good of it all, into the positive of it all. But I can say from experience, if you can find it, if you see even just a light glimmer at the end of the tunnel, it is always worth going forth towards that. I'm so serious. And if you don't have that glimmer inside of yourself, if you don't see the light, if it is pitch black, bitch, been there too, hello, there are people out there who are willing to ignite that spark in you. Sometimes all you have to do is ask for help. But happy Mental Health Awareness Month. I love you all so incredibly much. The last thing I ever want you guys to do is suffer, but please know if you ever are suffering, you're never alone. I feel like mental health is something that needs to immediately become just unstigmatized. We talk about so many different other illnesses such as cancer, autoimmune illnesses, any sort of illness, but we don't talk about mental health, which can be just as dangerous and just as life-threatening as even just like any sort of life-threatening illness can be. And when I was going through my deepest, darkest place, I really thought I was the only girl in the world to have ever experienced these kinds of emotions, these kinds of depths, these kinds of darknesses. And that drove me even further to isolation because I was very confused on what I was feeling and I didn't know what it was. And that was until, I finally was brave enough to speak up on what I was feeling. And my fucking mom goes, "Oh yeah, that's why I'm on 8 different antidepressants." And it's like, bitch, why didn't you tell me that in the first place? Anyways. But until I realized, wow, you don't have to suffer alone. What you're going through is something that a lot of people go through. I then started to feel that hope within myself of, oh, other people have gotten through this and I can too. I have someone to look up to. I have people to look up to. I have support to look towards. So that's why I really harp on it a lot, because I think back on how sad and lonely and scared young Hannah was, and that's the last thing I ever want anybody else to feel. And if you are ever feeling that, please know you are not alone. I have been through it with you. You can get through it. I promise you, there is hope. There is a beautiful future to live for. Does that mean you have to create that future for yourself? Yes, but also imagine the greatest future you could ever possibly imagine for yourself. You can make that a reality. You can. I promise you. It's a conversation I have with myself a lot. Even last night when I was literally Googling, what am I fucking doing with my life? It's like, you wake up, the day's anew, the sky's bright, the sun is shining. You take a deep breath of fresh air and you go, damn, I really was overreacting. Let's get to work. Let's focus on the good. Let's take just one step forward. Let's pause. Let's take some deep breaths and let's get back on the fucking horse. You know what I mean? But I love you guys. I never want you to feel alone. And please know, if I gone through it, you can also fucking get through it. Okay? Happy Mental Health Awareness Month. I love you all so incredibly much. All right, rant over. Let's get into your guys' questions. How to take the first step. Ooh, this is an interesting question. It's a little vague, but I'm going to give you kind of a good, well-rounded answer that is actually applicable to the life you're living right now. So me and my friend are both the same age. We're both kind of going through the same thing right now where it's like, what are we doing? We're having to make major life changes. We're having to do the goddamn work. We're having to show up to meetings, do these things, like craziness, right? Get quote unquote real jobs, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And she's a fantastic therapist, and I'm going to take her therapist's advice and give it to you. Sometimes when you think, oh, fuck, what do I need to do next, or the future, or whatever the fuck you have to do, you think of a million steps, all right? And when you're thinking of the million steps in front of you, okay, when you're looking at the mountain and you're like, fuck, I gotta climb up that fucking thing, it can feel very daunting, very scary, it can make you feel very small. It can make you feel very out of control. And that's not the perspective or the energy you want to lean into, especially when taking on a challenge or even simply trying to take the first step, okay? You don't want to scare yourself out of it. So let's kind of garner some hope first before we get to the to-do list of it all. And this is something that her therapist recommended that I actually sat down and immediately did, and it is just so helpful, which is before you enter a new phase, before you enter a new change, before you take that new step, pause and make a list of everything you've done successfully so far in life. Make a list of all of your wins, of all of the things you want to celebrate. All right, let's get a new perspective going that is positive, okay? Write down even the smallest of things you feel proud of, the biggest of things you feel proud of. Simply put, make a list of all of your celebrations, okay? And I don't care what those things are. I don't want you to hold yourself to these insane fucking standards. Sometimes my success for the day is I got up, I brushed my teeth, and I did the dishes. Okay, that's a win in my book. Maybe it's like I graduated school. Congratulations. Maybe it's I got my first apartment. Maybe it's I finally got my driver's license. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Make a list of things you have done successfully, a list of wins, all right? Not only will it show you kind of, oh, wow, I can do it. I did do it. You know, that fear is just because it's new. I felt that fear also going into getting my driver's license or going into graduation or whatever it may be, but I overcame it and I did it anyways. It'll get you on a good mindset to then make that to-do list and figure out what your next step needs to actually be. Okay? Now, when it comes to taking the first step towards anything, you got to take the small step first. I know. Some people, I think there's two different kinds of people in this world. There's one kind of person who likes to jump off the high dive first time at the swimming pool, where it's like, no, I have to get over this fear and just get it done, rip the Band-Aid off metaphorically. And if that's who you are, fantastic. Go out there, go do that big fucking step, go make that life-changing step. I am a very timid, anxious, prey animal, basically. Like, I'm constantly head on a fucking swivel. And so making that first big jump seems a little scary, but to warm myself up, I like to get on maybe the low dive and then the medium one, working my way up to the high dive. All right. So if you're trying to figure out what step to take first, take one that is going to be easy. Yes, kind of the easy way out, but you're still moving forward, so you're not completely backing out. But take the first easy step, because it'll help you work up the bravery for the next step, and then a little bit bigger, and then a little bit bigger until you're at that high dive. Okay. So for me, if I want to put it into kind of like a perspective for you, where like any goal can feel daunting. I don't care what the goal is. It could literally be like pulling yourself out of depression, whatever it is. Let's put it into, say horseback riding. Okay. And I know this is maybe something you don't want to do, but let's look at it at a grand scheme of things here. The first step I'm not going to take is immediately going out and buying a horse when I've never been on a horse. Do you see what I'm saying? But it could be, oh, let me go to a petting zoo and pet a horse and see if I can fuck with their vibes. Let me go on a trail ride. Let me take one singular lesson. Do you see? We're going to take the small step before we take the big step. Maybe it's painting. I'm just relating it to things in my life. I'm not going to sit down first time painting in years and make a Picasso fucking Gustav Klimt level painting, bitch. That ain't happening. All right. I sat down. I kind of had that in mind and I was like, this is not going to happen. That's okay. I'm going to accept that and I'm just going to do the best I can. It's not going to happen. Let's start with some small things first. Let's start with mixing colors, color matching. Let's start with painting a small still life, working on shading. Like, let's not do the big thing. Let's work on the small things so then we can get to the big thing. And also, when you eventually do get to that big painting, big project, big activity, big step, you have all of these little steps under you that act as a cushion of peace, that act as a little bit of trust in self, confidence in self, that you can then do the big thing, jump off the high dive, take that big next step. All right. It'll feel very comfortable to do so and not so fear-inducing, anxiety-inducing. So set the tone. Don't be fearful. Let's celebrate our wins. It's good to celebrate yourself and look back on all your successes of the past. Even failures can be successes if you really look at it because you were brave enough to try. And then start with the easiest fucking step first, like the teeniest, tiniest, easiest step. For me, painting, it was like, let me go buy some oil paint and even just dip the brush in one of the colors. Bam! All of a sudden, hooked. Now I'm going step by step by step by step until I can get to that masterpiece level. But patience, kindness, hope, trust, and bravery. That's all you need.
Hi, Hannah, and everyone listening to the pod. I love listening to Smoke Sesh every week. It always brightens my day. I'm calling in because I need some advice on something going on in my life. So I just turned 19 in April, and I am going to graduate at the end of this month, and I'm really excited. I'm so excited to go to college. But my problem is that I live in a place where everyone typically gets their driver's license at 16. And I'm 19 and I don't have my license. I'm working on it right now. But I'm not going to be able to get it until July. And I've just been feeling kind of insecure about not having my license and being older for my grade, and like having thoughts of like, well, I think that I'm ready for college, but like, what if I'm not because I don't have my license? And obviously I know it's not that big of a deal, but I just wanted to get your advice on this. Thank you so much.
Oh, I love you, babe. Listen, even though you're like, oh, I know it's not a big deal, I understand where in your head you're like, no, but actually it is a big deal. And it's only a big deal because of the comparison and contrasting you're doing with people in your life. That's kind of where I am, but it's not a driver's license. It's like children and marriage, where I'm like, oh my God, am I falling behind? Am I on the wrong path? Am I waiting too long? I just want to get it over with. I want to, you know what I mean? So I understand where you're like, I need to get it done. And here's the thing. Let me go ahead and give you a little bit of like an anxiety antidote. You're getting it done. You're going to get it done. It's going to happen. Is it a little bit later than everybody else? Yes. I was also the same way with my driver's license because I had been in so many accidents, not with me driving, but just in general, that I was fearful. And so I waited much longer. I actually didn't get my driver's license until my senior year of high school, when most people get them like, what is it, like end of freshman to junior year or sophomore year. And here's when I think the comparison and contrasting can be a positive push, especially as somebody who really likes to overthink things. It's nice to see people in your life do things and feel inspired by them. Okay, it's probably nice to have people in your life who do have their driver's license and go, I want that. I want that too. I want to be able to do those things. It's good. Just because you're not there yet doesn't mean you won't get there, but it is probably a good push that you need to then eventually do the things you want to do. Now, there's probably a lot of fear you're feeling with just change in general, with driver's license, going to college, just doing things, getting them done, handling shit. Like, it can be very stressful and very overwhelming. But if I'm going to give you any piece of advice that I can give any young 20-something right now who is trying to achieve a big task, whether it's college, driver's license, breaking up with a boyfriend, moving out for the first time ever, whatever it may be, that high dive jump that you're taking, you'll figure it out, okay? You will figure it out. You will get it done as long as you stand strong beside yourself, okay? The fearful overthinking is not going to help you achieve it, but taking direct, actionable steps towards the future and staying strong beside yourself and celebrating your successes and doing the damn thing no matter what time it happens, just getting it done anyways, it'll happen. It'll be done. You will achieve everything you want to achieve. Just be patient and kind to yourself. That's the one thing I wish I would have told myself when I was in college or getting my driver's license or breaking up with an ex. It's like, by going through it, you'll get through it, but you have to keep moving forward towards it or else you won't achieve it. You're moving forward. You're getting forward. Graduation's about to happen. Celebrate the fuck out of that. Enjoy your time, especially with your friends, senior year of high school. Have some fucking fun. Fun is the best antidote to worry. And naturally, before you know it, you're going to blink. You're going to be a year into college. You're going to have your driver's license. You're going to be achieving things you never thought you'd be able to achieve. You're also going to be faced with more challenges, but getting through this challenge will then help you face more challenges in the future. Trust in yourself. Be kind to yourself. Celebrate your successes. And everything will happen in divine timing. I love you. Advice on how to make friends as an adult. I just want the friend groups I see online. You know what? Valid. Now, I will have to burst your bubble a little bit. All things you see online are through rose-colored glasses, all are set up that way, or whatever the fuck you want to talk about. Like, it's always a little bit tweaked to then be positive. You're not seeing the friends fist fight, okay? In the back. Like, me and my friends, fantastic relationship. There has been many a times where it's like we're physically fighting on the ground. You know, like, the good things are going to be posted online, the negative things are not going to be posted online. So always take things you see online with a grain of salt. But genuinely, if you want to make friends in the real world, which I'm being brave and I'm doing now. I know. I'm starting to be brave, you guys. I'm starting to make connections. I don't know. I really closed myself off from the real world for a long time because I genuinely have I feel like I have a really good relationship with myself. I prefer to actually be alone than around people most of the time. I do just prefer to be with me because I did the work. I want to enjoy my time with myself. I enjoy being in the presence of myself. And it's good to be there, but also you can't be so closed off and indoors, because then I realized, oh wow, I just simply put can't talk to people. So I have to start practicing again, which means I need to start making friends. I need to start putting myself out there. And friends come from either being situationally around them or being in an activity with them. Think about when you're children, okay? When you're a child and you're making friends, it's like we are in the same class together. Now we're lifelong friends. It's a situational friendship. You just happen to be sitting next to each other. You happen to be talking all the time, and now you're besties. Bam, easy peasy. Now, it could also be, okay, I'm making a friend from a different class, so it's not situationally, but it's activity-wise. You're on the playground, you're looking for people with similar interests, you're like, who wants to fucking play warrior cats on the playground? Like, me and my friends made like a little bee club where we just picked flowers all day. Like, who has similar interests as me that maybe I'm not situationally around, but through activities I'm able to meet? This is the recipe to make friends. Forget all this bullshit nonsense adult world friendship connections networking. That's not how you make friends. Friendship, real connection is truly just made through the same way we did as kids. I know. Isn't it beautiful that we were taught those lessons and we knew how to do it? We just kind of have forgotten. We got to have to like revert to that perspective. And so I really am trying to do that through situation such as like, oh, maybe there's a girl at work that I want to hang out with more, or there's somebody that is in the same kind of realm as me and I need to just reach out more or say yes to activities more, or through activities such as horseback riding. You know, I love my trainer. She's such a sweet lady. Like, I just need to take her up on her offers or make offers myself to go out horseback riding or to go shopping or to go to the rodeo, whatever it may be. And being brave enough to go out and do it and be vulnerable. Being vulnerable is hard, but it's the best way to make friends. If you're vulnerable and someone's not fucking with your vibe, guess what? They're not the person for you. They're not the friend for you. The right friend will feel your vulnerability and go, let me show you a little something. You know, let me be vulnerable too. Don't worry about if people don't like you. People are not going to like you. Let's be honest. Like, you got to get over that fear of like having to appease everybody. It's okay for people to dislike you because that means they're not the right person for you. They're not the right person to be in your life. Normal, real. You're not everybody's cup of tea. I hate to break the news to you. I know this too. I know I'm a good person. I know I'm cool. I know I'm hot. I know I'm sexy. But also I know I'm maybe not the right vibe for some people, and that's okay. I'm totally fine with that. I got my crew here. I got my girls who listen, my girls and gays, and I'm happy to have you guys here. But also I understand like incel men are not going to listen to this podcast and enjoy it. That's okay. If you're not meant to be here, you're not meant to be here. If you don't fuck with my vibe, that's okay. I don't need people to be around me and be fake, to fake enjoy me, or to even be around me and hate me to my face. Like, that's just something I don't need. But yeah, you're going to have to be vulnerable. You're going to have to put yourself out there. You might get rejected. You might realize, ooh, it's not a good fit. That's all right. You know, when you're a kid and you're playing on the playground and you're like, actually, this kid's kind of fucking weird. Like, no offense, but they're kind of weird, not fucking with their energy. I'm just not going to play with them. I'm going to be nice and be kind. I'll be chill, but I'm not going to play with them next time we have recess. Since it's only 15 minutes, I'm going to make sure I get the best 15 minutes of my life. I'm going to go hang out with somebody else. You know, we got to stop taking things so seriously in that way. But yeah, activity is a great way to meet people, especially with similar interests. Similar interests is immediately going to bond you, immediately going to make making a relationship easier. And it can be through anything. It can be through yoga, getting outside, hiking. There's a run club that happens through my city every weekend, like thrifting. Maybe you're into like aura cleansing. I don't know. And if you're like, where do I find these activities? Okay, let me give you the biggest hint ever at where to find activities as an adult. Okay, so you're going to go to your local coffee shop in like a good community. And by good community, I mean community that likes each other, not an Apple Store coffee shop that refuses to let you put things up, let alone have a bulletin board. You're going to go to the bulletin board in that community coffee shop, and you're going to look at all the activities going on. Okay, a bulletin board will be your best friend for community building. I'm not even kidding. My yoga studio also has a bulletin board, and it'll be like energy cleansing session or sun salutation day, where they're doing sun salutations all day, or it's like personal life coaching or coffee and yap, or it's like there's always something going on. There's always something going on. There's always somebody who's doing something, and it's a great way to meet people. My friend is currently going to like Alcoholics Anonymous meetings, and it's like she's making friends through that, or like getting to know people through that, building community through that. It's good to just put yourself out there to try something out, because you never know what will happen. Also, situationally, maybe there's someone, you know, from your past that you should reach out to, or maybe someone at work that you feel like you could be good friends with, or that fun barista that you talk to every single day that you're like, damn, maybe I should just ask her to hang out or ask for her Instagram. There's this girl that I take horseback riding lessons with every single lesson, and she's going through a hard time, and I'm like, girl, if you want to go out and go fishing or something, I don't know what you're into, but like, let's do it. Why not? You know, like I love your energy. I can tell you need a friend. Let's do something together. Like, I don't mind. It's so good to just try to put yourself out there, because you will be accepted always more than you will ever be denied. I promise you that. People, if you get into the real world and you get on offline, you will realize most people are friendly, inviting, accepting, open-minded, and really wanting to make connections, no matter who they are. You just have to start interacting with people and putting yourself out there. And this is a conversation I'm mostly having with myself, considering I've been inside for a long time. Okay, it's like, be brave. You will be loved for it. And if people don't fuck with your vibe, who cares? Who cares? Get them out of here. But yes, find your local bulletin board and get to it, girl. Take those numbers, show up to those events, show up for yourself. Speaking of, this is a good one. How to deal with hating ass bitches. Ooh, there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of them out there. I've been bullied many a times through my life. I've also been the bully, but I've only ever been the bully as a way of self-defense. I just maybe took it too far, but it's like, bitch, if you want to play stupid games, you're going to win stupid goddamn prizes. All right. So I kind of have like an adult mindset now of how to deal with hating ass bitches, which is block and ignore. Whether online, block and ignore, or in person, I kind of like mentally block them out, where it's like, I'm going to completely limit all interactions I possibly have with you / cut you off. If I have to be around you, like maybe it's work or community event, whatever it is, maybe if you can't get away from them, family can be some real hating ass bitches. It's like, I'm just going to show up and be cordial and move on. But also at the end of the day, hating ass bitches want you to be anything but yourself. So the best way to remedy that feeling that they're causing you of, you know, maybe anxiety or overthinking of self or hatred of self, because that's what they want you to feel, because they're probably feeling that too, is to stand 10 toes down on who you are. Okay? Where it's like, oh, I'm feeling judged for this. I'm feeling a little, this person is maybe like side-eyeing me for this. Fuck them. I'm going to stand 10 toes down on who I am, what I'm doing, what I'm enjoying. Oh, they don't understand that part about me. Sucks. Well, I understand this part about me, and I'm going to stay true to who I am. It's really the only remedy, okay? And also the best way to get back. I try and limit revenge, because what comes around goes around. So I really try. I'm very careful about the energy I put out there. But the best way to kind of get back at somebody whenever they're being a bully, whenever they're being rude, whenever they're being disrespectful, whenever they're just hating on you, is to love yourself, to stand 10 toes down in who you are, to be truly fucking unbothered, okay? Because they want you to be bothered. They want you to be nervous. They want you to be anxious. They want you to be self-conscious, like I said, because they're probably all of those things. But you cannot let them drag you to the pits of hell with them, okay? I refuse to burn. I refuse to suffer. And if I am going to burn and suffer, it's going to be in my own hands, not someone else's. That's for goddamn sure. You gotta love and accept yourself in spite in spite of them all. Really, I do a lot of things in spite. And people might think, oh, spite, negative energy, bad energy. You shouldn't be spiteful. Okay, that's a sin. Boo. I love spite because it really is just like, you want me to suffer and I refuse to suffer. I refuse to hate myself. I refuse to suffer. I refuse to do anything negative that you are trying to put on me out of spite. And you're gonna have to sit back and watch me flourish, live my best fucking life, and love myself through it all while you refuse to do those things for yourself. That's how I deal with hating ass bitches. All right? Don't let them get you down, babe. Don't let them get you down. Hey, love you. Love you. How do I find that middle between staying firm on my boundaries and not being mean? I'm being told my tone is off, but is it because of my tone or is it because I've started being more firm? Maybe I pendulum swing to the other extreme. Please help. God, I love a boundary. I love a boundary. Me realizing I don't actually have to suffer, me realizing my people pleasing was actually making me hate myself and hate my life, me realizing I can't make everybody happy. I love a boundary. I love a boundary. Now, here's the thing. Tone is important. Tone is always important. I mean, if people are constantly overstepping your boundary, I understand when you want to like break and snap at them and like lose your cool or like really be firm in what you're saying so they get it. But also, when people are overstepping your boundaries constantly, what you're going to say or what tone you're going to use doesn't matter. They're going to keep doing it. So you have to accept that they're going to keep doing it and simply either remove yourself or don't be surprised when it happens. All right. Tone is important. If I'm setting a boundary, if somebody's new in my life, okay, or there's a boundary that I need to set with somebody and, you know, it's the first conversation we're having, it's like a new thing we're bringing up in the relationship or whatever it is, I am very calm, cool, and collected. If you're going to be giving somebody kind of like criticism or anything other than positive news, I am always calm, cool, and collected. Hey, I know we kind of did this here and there, but I would really appreciate it if A, B, C, and D. Thank you so much. Period. That's all you have to say. Okay? Very chill, very to the point. Don't say sorry. Okay? Don't apologize for having boundaries, but just let them know how it is. This is how it's going to be going from now on if you're going to be in my life. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right. Now, boundaries are good because they tell you what you are willing to accept within your life, but boundaries are not there for you to control and change other people. I want to make that very, very, very clear. I think recently with the talk of boundaries or the online fanatic of the idea of boundaries, they are used heavily as a way to warp and distort and change other people. At the end of the day, you cannot change other people. You can let them know your boundaries, but you cannot force them to enforce them on you. Does that make sense? If they don't want to respect your boundaries, they don't have to. That is called, I fear, being human and having free will. Not everybody is going to hear you state your boundaries and respect them. Not everybody's going to understand your boundaries. Not everybody is going to, respect your boundaries or respect you in general, but you can always hold them within yourself and respect yourself. Okay, your boundaries are not you telling other people how to interact with you. It's a tool to help you understand your relationship with other people. And it's so important to do so and have some boundaries, okay? If you don't like when somebody yells at you, this is a very normal boundary that I'm sure a lot of people have. I mean, sometimes, I don't know, people in, like, I have friends that are just like yellers and not in like a negative way. It's just like the way that they talk with each other, the way they communicate. It's like, I get that. I understand that. They're not triggered by that. Me personally in my life, I don't tolerate yelling. No one should ever fucking yell at me. And if you raise your voice at me, oh girl, it's game over. It's game over. Okay, so we'll start with a simple boundary such as like no yelling. Say someone starts to raise their voice at you, you're like, listen, if we're gonna have a conversation, it needs to be actually productive and respectful. Like, you can set that quick boundary, but if they keep yelling, you need to understand, okay, I set a boundary, they're not respecting it, they're not respecting me, I have to choose to walk away. Okay? It's not a me problem, it's a them problem. And they're not going to respect my space, respect my no, respect my boundary, then I need to remove myself. It's really simple. It really is. When you're like, oh, they're not listening to me, they're not changing themselves for me, they're not changing themselves for me. It's like, yeah, no, duh, because they don't want to change. They're not an individual who's going to change. Some people will change, but that should not be something you try and enforce on anybody. But you can always enforce a new reaction from yourself or what you're willing to deal with. And sometimes that is walking away, removing yourself, taking some distance, taking some space. But if you find yourself constantly, no, this is my boundary, no, this is my boundary, no, this is my boundary, to one singular person, it's like, bitch, they obviously don't respect you. You have to leave. You gotta remove yourself. Boundaries are tools that help you decide what people you want in your life, not tools for you to force change on other people. Because arguably, you shouldn't have to change other people. Sure, there might be tiffs here and there, hard conversations, slight arguments maybe here and there. It's a part of human nature, people getting a little bit crazy sometimes, but it shouldn't be a constant. It shouldn't feel like a constant anxiety inducing thing with people in your life. I had to do that with a man fucking child in my life, a man child. And it was somebody I work with. So it was like, I can't really fully remove them from my life, but I have to take a severe distance where it got to a point that I was like, I'm done, to the point where you're pushing me away to where I'm going to quit. And he saw that and he was like, okay, I have to kind of step up and respect that. And he knows now, like, oh, she's not the one to fuck with. And if he does fuck with me, I am quick to up and walk away to leave. It's like, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you or tell you off. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of your time. I'm actually just going to get the fuck up and go. Because what am I going to do? Okay? What am I going to do? Beg you to change. Please treat me nicely. Treat me nicely. Please be nice to me. It's like, no. You're either nice to me or I'm gone. It's very simple. But yeah, you should use boundaries as guidelines of what you're willing to accept, not what you're trying to force change on other people. Because like I said, you shouldn't really have to ask people to change much. Hard conversations will happen here and there. That's okay. Part of being a human. Communication's hard. But good people will be good people, and it will be easy for them to be good people. Okay? I promise you. If you're begging that man to act right, he's not doing it for a reason, and you gotta go. You will find a man who acts right naturally. I promise you. If you're begging that friend to be a friend, you can remove yourself because they're just not going to be that and you've been asking for it, and you can go find someone who's going to be naturally a good friend. Of course, stick up for yourself, speak up for yourself, but if you're not received, maybe it's time for you to go find someone who will receive you.
Hi there. Hi, Hannah. Thank you for the wonderful podcast. It gets me through some really rough days at work. But you have such a beautiful mind and such a kind soul, so I wanted to send in a question. I guess over time, maybe from being raised in a very negative household or just going through uncontrollable circumstances that, the only way through is out, I find myself day to day falling into more of a negative mindset and not being as grateful for the little things that the day provides or things that I've worked hard for. And I know if you want the universe to give you more, bless you, you have to be thankful for what you already have. So my question would be, how do I keep myself in a more positive attitude and definitely be more grateful for the things that I have received? Because I know if you just continue on a negative mindset, that just leads to being bitter and jaded and angry about the world, which is something I definitely don't want to be. So just any advice or active tips I can do to be a more positive person would be great. Thank you.
Oh, you are actually so precious. I think one of the best things you can really do in life is understand that, like, there's going to be ups and downs to everything. Even I love myself, but even I have moments of lows where it's like a lot of negative self-talk or only seeing things negatively, or, sometimes you just get in a funk and it's okay. Okay. I think the number one thing you can really do is offer yourself forgiveness. Forgiveness is the best thing you can really do to help get yourself out of that place, okay? I'm just having a bad day. I'm just having a bad self-image day. I'm just not feeling good today. I'm feeling a little low today. Understanding the situation. Maybe it's like, damn, everybody's pissing me the fuck off today. Okay, I'm having a little bit of a negative moment, but it's not a negative forever. Forgiveness is really important, so then you're able to kind of then uplift yourself in the future, accept positive moments, and look out for them. All right, there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. Even I, the most positive person in the world, just kidding, but even I am going to have bad days sometimes, and that's all right. Forgiveness is key. I think a lot of positive mindsets is just approaching negative moments in a productive manner, okay? When you approach negative moments or you're having negative times, engaging in more negativity is of course not going to be productive. It's not going to help you get out of that funk. It's not going to help you see in a more positive light. It's not going to make you even feel better. You know, sometimes I get in my head and I'm like, this negative moment, if I just talk shit about this negative moment, it's going to make me feel better. No, it's not actually. But if I try and approach it in a more productive manner where I'm like, you know what, it's just a bad day. I'll be over it tomorrow. Let's feel this and let go of it. That's a great productive way to move on from that negative mindset. Or pausing yourself and kind of checking yourself where it's like, is this thought process really productive? Or can I distract myself with something? Can I, give myself a compliment to help redirect these thought processes? Redirection is also a great way to be productive in that mindset, or to keep a productive mindset where it's like changing a negative to a positive. I really am trying to implement that more in my life, where it's like, negative is okay, but also like, what can we take from it? How can we turn this into a productive moment? Even if it is just like acceptance, that can be productive, or forgiveness, that can be productive, or even switching a negative to a more positive belief, even if it's forceful, where if I'm having like a negative self-image day, I force myself to give myself 5 compliments. Or if I feel like everything's going wrong, it's like, well, actually, let's write down 5 things that I'm grateful for. And if you find yourself in a long-term negative period, you might need to kind of force yourself to practice this more often, where maybe every morning or every evening or every lunch, whenever you're sitting down with 5 minutes to yourself, you make yourself write 5 things that you're grateful for. And it can be from anything, okay? Don't put too many rules on yourself, especially when you're trying to get somewhere positive. But write down like 5 things that you're grateful for, 5 things that you're appreciative of. It really does have a powerful way of transforming how you think about life, and also what you're looking out for, where the negative things will kind of water off a duck's back, brush off of you, and the positive things will stick because you're forcing yourself to look out for them for your list at the end of the night, But forgiveness, appreciation, kindness of self will go far for helping you let go of negative mindsets. And then asking yourself, like, is this a productive way of thinking? Is this a productive way of utilizing my energy right now? Is me hating on this dumb bitch, not you, but like in general, sometimes I get pissed off at people and it's like, is hating really helping this situation? No, it's actually making me an awful person. Is, being angry about a situation actually helping? No, it's actually making me stay stuck in the past. Is, hating on myself actually making me glow up? No, it's actually making me feel worse about myself. So the productivity of it all is very helpful. And then implementing real changes into your life to help you get there, such as like daily activities, daily gratitude, even just like, God, the Christians got it right with praying. It really is so helpful. But I think you can pray no matter who you are, of just like what you're seeking and what you're thankful for. Appreciation to the universe and what it gives you every day can be so transformative if you give yourself the time to do so. But it's a fantastic thing to work into your schedule, especially if you find yourself stuck in maybe thought processes that were taught to you or that you've lived around for such a long time. It can be hard to escape, but with a little bit of work and a little bit of redirection, you can get there. All right. I love you. Have you ever had a close friend go to the mental hospital? How should one support a friend that goes, especially because he's actively manic and I just have to smile and nod when visiting him? Real as fuck. Okay, so I actually feel very lucky because when I went to the mental hospital, we were all very young, and so there was kind of like an unseriousness about it from my friends that I genuinely really appreciated, because when you go to the mental hospital and when you get out of it, or when you kind of come back to reality, especially if you maybe are in a manic state, you kind of have this like shock of, oh fuck, is everybody going to look at me differently? Are people going to treat me differently? I don't want to be treated differently. I felt very unnormal for a long time. I've been treating myself very unfairly for a long time. Like, I don't want anybody else to treat me unfairly for a long time. And my friends truly, like, we didn't even skip a fucking beat. It was just like, oh yeah, she went to the mental hospital. Like, kind of who cares? We're still here for her. We're going to treat her the same way we always have, because it's obviously a good relationship. And I really appreciated that. I think that was a very mature way to go about it, especially for us being so young and for them to go about it that maturely. It was just so sweet and so nice. They actually, this is hilarious, but they made me a gift basket, which is like, what? Gift basket for when you get out of the mental hospital. So funny. Of all things, that smelled like the outside world, because they knew I wasn't allowed outside. Isn't that so funny? They were like, here's a wildflower candle, and here's some blackberry lotion, and here's some incense, and here's some crystals to ground yourself. It was so fucking funny. But it really just took the weight of it out, because I mean, there's a lot of weight that comes to it when you are admitted to a hospital, especially when it's like an involuntary hold, or it isn't necessarily your choice. It really was not my choice. There's a lot of weight in it and a lot of like heaviness that comes with that. So to have something so lighthearted and so just like normal was so incredible and so helpful, especially for support, because everybody was treating me like I wasn't normal. My parents were walking on eggshells. My brother was walking on eggshells. Teachers were walking on eggshells. And it was like, damn, bitch, like, can I just come back to the real world? Like, I really just want to return as is. Even though it's very hard to do so, I just really wanted that. And I'm so thankful that my friends did that for me. So maybe all you can really do right now, especially the state that your friend is in, is just be there, be physically there. But hopefully in the future, you can help maybe return a little bit of normalcy and a little bit of like lightheartedness back to their life, because that is truly transformational and healing, and friends are fantastic for that. So I'm proud of you for being there, especially while they're going through a hard time. It's hard on the friends too, because you don't want to see people you love going through a hard time. But when I was admitted, I really did need people in my life that were just going to treat me normally. It'd be like, oh, visitation hours, my mom's sobbing, and it's like, damn, bitch, can you please give me $5 for some chips out of the snack machine? That's really what I need right now. Like, I'm fucking hungry. But it's like, I wanted normalcy, and I'm so thankful that I had friends in my life that were willing to give that to me. And it was a very mature perspective for us to have at like 15 and 16. So I'm very thankful for that. And hopefully you can give that little dose of fun and lightheartedness and just life back to your friend, especially once they're back out. But I love you, and thank you for being there for them. Does change ever get easier when you do it yourself? I feel like I'm clawing at my old life, even though I know it's not for me anymore and I've outgrown where I am. It's so hard. It really is. It's funny because on the Patreon, we had this conversation similarly where someone was like, I'm a junior in high school and I'm there's so much on my plate right now and it's so hard. I have ACT and SAT and all the T's and all the tests and all the things in college and applications and also competitive sports. And it's just like, there's a lot on my fucking plate right now. And I will say, like, whenever life gets hard or challenging or difficult, you going through the motions of just getting through it makes you resilient and makes future challenges much, much, much easier. That's just how it is. Life felt much harder at 16 and 17 because I had never experienced life before versus 26 and 27 where I've been through 10 years of resilience. Things get easier. Naturally, things get easier. But there is, when it comes to change, any sort of change, physical change, mental change, situational change, whatever it is, there is that fear aspect that's so special about the unknown, that will forever be difficult. But I really am looking at it in a new perspective now, where in the past, the fear felt very controlling, where it was like, I'm feeling fear, so I shouldn't do it. But I'm kind of redirecting my thought processes now, where it's like, the fear is not because you're in danger or it's scary or you shouldn't be doing it. The fear is simply put because you're about to level up. You're about to change. You're about to transform. And that will always be fearful. You will never not feel that fear, even if it is like a beautiful, amazing, wonderful thing. You're still going to feel a little bit of that fear, but that fear should drive you to do it. It means something good is coming. And I truly do believe that. I really, really do. Anytime I have felt that need to change, that desire to change, plus the fear, it's like, ooh, the fear wouldn't be there if it wasn't a possibility of succeeding. You know, if it's so outlandish and so crazy and like, oh, I'll never graduate, or oh, I'll never get that score on the ACT, or oh, I'll never be able to move here. It's like that fear is not existent, because in your heart, you're like, I know this just is not going to work out. But when you know it's going to work out, and when you know it's probably going to succeed, and you know you're going to have to face that shit head on, you will feel that fear. But you should trust in that and understand that that is just a sign of it. It really is all going to work out. Yes, you're going to have to jump off that fucking high dive. Okay. You're going to have to take that first step. You're going to have to face the fear and do it anyways. But the fear is not there to scare you away or deter you. It is there as a truth sayer of it's probably going to work out. It's probably going to work out, okay? If it wasn't going to be based in reality, you would not be feeling that fear, okay? So just do it. Feel the fear and do it anyways, all right? It means you're on the right path. It really does. I know. I'm kind of feeling that fear with my horse, my leasing horse, where it's like I'm literally getting a horse. Okay, like I'm literally getting a horse and I can go out and I can ride my horse whenever I want. But also there's like that little bit of fear there where it's like, this is reality. I never thought it'd be reality, but it is reality. I made it reality. And I really just have to like go forth, do it, get it done, and appreciate it. Appreciate it the best I can every step of the way. You know what the best antidote to that fear is too? Sure, action. Action is the best antidote for fear, because you'll realize like, same thing as like jumping off the high dive. You'll realize, damn, why was I scared? There's water below me. I just had to get over that fear. But also the best antidote to fear is celebration. Celebration of success, celebration of new eras, celebration in general, hyping yourself up, getting that positive energy built up. It is the best antidote to that fear, to those late night scaries. Okay. The same way I talked about making that list of all of your accomplishments before taking the first step, it's because it'll really lessen that fear in order for you to then get the courage to move forward. It's a great reminder of like, you can do hard things and they will work out, period. How to break the cycle? I'm stuck. Ooh, you're not stuck. You're in a point of reflection. Every time I'm like, I'm stuck. I can't get out of this. I'm stuck. It's like, no, you're actually at a reflection point. And feeling stuck is really just living in the past and the future at the same time. You're not really in the present. If you were really stuck, you would be very, very stuck, goddamn, in the present. You would be very focused on the present, okay? You would not be thinking about the past or the future. So it's not a period of being stuck. It's actually a period of reflection where you're contemplating, what do I do? You're making moves. You're figuring it out. You're thinking, and it's good. You should think. You should look back on the past and go, okay, so what did I succeed at? What did I not succeed at? What are my unfinished businesses? What do I wish I moved forward in? What are things I wish I would have tried? And then also the future of, where do I want to be? What do I want to have kids? Do I want to get married? Where do I want to live? What do I envision like my end of life years looking like? You know, what kind of temperature do I want to live in? How do I want to present myself? Like the broader questions of it all. I don't think you're stuck. I think you're just reflecting on where you've gone and where you want to go, which is good. Okay. Now you might start getting stuck when you become too reflective. This is when I say the overthinking is sometimes not very helpful. And in fact, you're just arguing with yourself in your head and it's making you confused and not helping you move forward. Okay. Being too contemplative can be a downfall. It really can. We talk about self-help. This is a self-help podcast. Yes. Sometimes the best antidote to self-help is literally just fucking doing it, getting inspiration and going out and doing it. So the best way to get unstuck isn't to just like completely blast into the future, into your ideal world. It's to start taking small little steps towards where you want to be. Okay. You're looking at the past. You're looking at all the things you've done, successes, wins, things that are unfinished. Maybe you pull something up from the past. You're like, I've always wanted to be a fucking painter. Maybe I need to sit down and paint. Okay. And that's your first step. Or it's like, no, past, bad, moving forward. Okay, no unfinished business. What do I dream of doing? What are things that I feel called to do? Is it moving? Is it, cutting my hair? Is it selling all my clothes, a new wardrobe? Is it picking up a new hobby? Taking one little step forward will do more for you than overthinking your situation ever could possibly do. Okay, and it just is the truth of life. Action. What is it? Oh, fuck. There's a quote. Hold on. Action is the antidote to despair, and action is the enemy of thought. Taking direct action, no matter how small, is the best way to overcome feelings of helplessness, fear, and hopelessness. Passive fear will never get you anywhere. It'll keep you consistently in the same spot. Okay, you're stuck. Guess what? Because you're sitting in fear. Purposeful steps will build momentum to push you forward into those big high dive moments. But you got to start small in order for you to get unstuck. Okay, last night's thoughts, me spiraling, what the fuck am I doing with my life versus this morning thoughts. Okay, last night thoughts, passive fear. I was just building that fear within myself, building it, Google searching, comparison, contrasting, hate, self-hate. Okay, I was stuck. This morning, guess what I did? No time to think. Get up, boots on, outside, sun on skin, petting horse, even just taking a deep breath outside before coming back inside. Who knows what it is? But direct action, it completely transformed my day. Okay. The feeling I was having last night versus the feeling I'm having this morning, two very different feelings. But you overthinking is not going to get you anywhere. Sometimes you just gotta fucking act on it. We all die unhealed. Focus on living. Okay. I love you all so much though. Thank you so much for being here. Happy May. Happy Mental Health Awareness Month. I love you all so much. Please, for the love of God, if you need help, do not be afraid to ask for it. It is the bravest thing I've ever done for myself. And if you just need a dose of not feeling alone, listen to this podcast. I'm happy to always provide the hope and inspiration you might need, especially on your darkest days. If I can ignite that light inside of you, then I've done my job. That's all I fucking care about. But with that being said, if you want to see more from me, if you want to support me, join the Patreon, patreon.com/SnoAccessShawty. I know a lot of fun things coming. Okay, I have my May forecast. I have a playlist I've been working on. I have tarot readings. I have the book club. There's a lot coming up. Okay, I just did our Scorpio full moon write-ups. And we have 2 full moons this month. 2. Yes, I said that correctly. We have one at the end of the month. We just had one at the beginning of the month. So mentally prepare. But all of those will be on Patreon, patreon.com/SmokeSeshShawty. And if you want to submit your questions or just see what I'm up to, follow me on Instagram at Hannah Marlene. But with that being said, stay sane, stay sexy, and I'll see you all so soon. Mwah.